Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Amanda, this is the Happy Homestead, and we are kicking off the 6th week of the Pantry Challenge, the Three Rivers Challenge, where basically you try not to go shopping, you use what you have, you get creative, and make good use of all of the money, time, and effort you had put in to stock your pantry previously. So, beginning week 6, I went shopping. See all that? I had to go grocery shopping today. We ran out of eggs. I needed some fresh fruit, some fresh vegetables. So let me show you what I got. All right, I've got everything laid out. All in all, I spent $120. I went to 2 different stores to try to get everything I needed. $75 at one store, $45 at the other store. There were, I think you'd consider maybe 2 splurges. 2 boxes of Sumo Citrus, sometimes also known as the ugly orange. They are really good. They are so good. They are my favorite orange, and they're only around like January through March in the year. So stocked up on 2 boxes of these. 1 butternut squash, 1 acorn squash, 2 bags of organic sweet potatoes, yellow bananas, some red bananas, some organic romaine lettuce, 36 eggs, 3 avocados, 4 mangoes, 1 bag of pretzels, 2 bags of organic white corn tortilla chips, 1 bag of Honeycrisp apples, 1 bag of shallots, 2 bags of organic French green beans, 1 Savoy cabbage, 2 parsnips, 4 turnips. All right, before I get all that put away, 3 of the things I bought, the cabbage, the turnips, and the parsnips, are for tonight's dinner. Now, if you've been following along in the last video, I guess it's been a couple of days now where I started the brine on my brisket, and it is still in the refrigerator. And I'm probably going to be getting out in about an hour, maybe a little bit less, and getting it in a Dutch oven. And in the oven, we are having a New England boiled dinner with clam chowder. Some of you are going to know exactly what I mean when I say a boiled dinner, and some of you won't. Both of these recipes tonight, the clam chowder and the boiled dinner, are from the Lost Kitchen. So excited for this. So a boiled dinner is basically corned beef. It's on page 220 of the Lost Kitchen. It's basically corned beef with potatoes, cabbage, celery, parsnips, and then you can serve it with some apple cider vinegar or some mustard, like a really grainy brownish mustard. That's what we're gonna do. And then we're gonna have that clam chowder first. So we're having a traditional New England dinner. I'm from New England originally, from Maine to be exact. And this is a dinner that I have many memories growing up with my mom. She made boiled dinner so many times, and she even still does it with clam chowder. And so tonight I'm gonna do it for my family, and I'm really excited. I did not go buy clams. That would have been the main thing to do, but I didn't do it. I do have a can of Bar Harbor chopped clams. I actually have 3 cans. So I'm gonna be using this for the clam chowder. It just makes the whole process a lot easier and cleaner. I do have milk and cream and potatoes, and it's just going to be glorious. And I have fresh baked sourdough bread, so it's gonna be wonderful. Got about an hour left for the brisket to cook. So what I did was I took it out of the brine, put it in the Dutch oven here, added some more of those pickling spices, covered the meat with water, put it on the stove, and then the recipe said to bring it to a boil and then lower it to a simmer and cook for about 4 hours. So I've been checking, the meat is probably just about done, but I'm gonna go as close to 4 hours as I can. And then about 20 to 30 minutes prior to us actually trying to eat, I'm gonna throw in some of the cabbage, potatoes, parsnips, turnips, and carrots. But I now want to get started on the clam chowder. So I just took some of my small baby red potatoes and put them in an Instant Pot. The recipe says to basically cook them first, right? And then you're going to cut them into bite-sized pieces. So I put them in, I think, for 10 or 11 minutes, high pressure, and now I can get everything else going on the oven, or excuse me, on the stovetop in my stock pot. So I just thinly sliced 2 shallots and 2 cloves of garlic. So we're gonna saute this, caramelize it in a little olive oil and butter. Okay, these have been cooking down for probably about 10 to 15 minutes. I added in some chopped celery, salt, pepper, and some dried parsley. I'm gonna add the clams in now. I'm adding the juice from at least 1 can. I don't know that I'm gonna add the juice from all 3. But you never just wanna throw all the juice away right away. I have this on a really low heat, and I'm going to start adding in my milk and cream. The recipe calls for 3 cups cream, 2 cups milk. And again, I have it on low heat. I have it on number 2. You don't want to have it really high, because you will burn the milk. And now I'm understanding why you want the potatoes cooked, because you don't really want to scorch the milk. So the potatoes I'll cut up in just a minute, and we'll add those in as well. I'm adding the juice of 1 lemon. My potatoes may be a tad overcooked. They nicely cut into these beautiful pieces, but it'll be all right. All right, well, the chowder is done. It looks beautiful. Bon appetit. Hey friends, Monday, February 6th, update on dinner last night. It was so good. It was everything I had dreamed of. It was my first time doing both of those dishes. They came out delicious. Now, I'll tell you, the chowder was, it was beautiful. It was so good, but it was not like this thick, chowder that you can think of, like if you go to a restaurant. You know, sometimes they're thickening it with either flour or cornstarch or some other sort of starch and thickener. It wasn't that way. But honestly, that's how I prefer it, because it was made with just real ingredients. So I just want to mention that, because I think if you were to try something like that, if you're expecting that thicker soup, you may be disappointed. But everything was so good. We have a quart left. Well, we had 2 quarts of chowder left over. I had a quart for lunch today. It was so good. We have a quart left, and then we have some corned beef and veggies left. And at some point this week, I'll probably make like a open-faced Reuben or something for lunch with some sauerkraut and some melted cheese, and total win-win. Okay, tonight, Monday night, activity night. I need to have something ready to go. It's 4 o'clock. I gotta get something going so that it's ready when we come home. And we are having Instant Pot, what is it called? I guess cheesesteaks, Philly cheesesteaks. I'm going to, in the Instant Pot, brown some venison. I've got venison already pulled out of the freezer. I'm gonna add in half of an onion that's diced. I do have some bell peppers in the freezer that are sliced. I'm gonna chop them up and dice them as well. Add in maybe a little garlic, brown the meat, put that all together, salt, pepper, maybe a little Worcestershire, and then right before we eat, I'm gonna shred up some mozzarella and kind of put that in there. So it's gonna almost be like a sloppy joe type texture, but it's gonna be Philly cheesesteak. And we're gonna do that open faced just on some sourdough bread, because I didn't have time to make buns, and that's okay. And I cut some sweet potatoes up into fries, just like this. I think that's like 4 or 5 sweet potatoes. I am gonna drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, throw them in a 400-degree oven and get them really cooked through. And that when we come home, the fries are done, we put our sandwiches together. This is a little pizza sauce that I had left over in the fridge. Just gonna add about 2 tablespoons. Just a little dehydrated onion and garlic powder. I'm gonna do a little of my leek powder. And it would be a totally missed opportunity if I didn't add in some of my dehydrated liver powder. I'm only going to add 1 tablespoon, since I only have 1 pound of meat and I don't want to overpower it. Bon appetit. Hey friends, it is Tuesday, February 7th. It's Taco Tuesday, but we're not gonna have tacos. I'm gonna change it up a bit and we're gonna have nachos. I have seen people do this. I just never have, and I couldn't tell you why, but I'm gonna be fun mom again tonight. So when we went, my daughter and I went to the store the other day, I picked up some tortilla chips. And in the freezer from November, I had smoked a Boston butt, right? So pulled pork. And then we had some left over and I portioned it out into 1 pound packs and froze it like, what's the word? Vacuum sealed it and froze it. So I took 1 pack out this morning. It's pretty thawed. I am going to line a cookie sheet with foil, sprinkle the chips, shred some homemade cheddar cheese. I've just pulled this out of the cheese cave. This was made in July of 2022. It is a homemade cheddar. So I will probably grate half of this and then maybe vacuum seal and put the rest of it back in. So chips, cheese, chop some up this pork and put the pork on. Put it in the oven at around maybe 350 just to get everything melted, everything hot. And then we are going to top with homemade peach. I had to think about which fruit this was. Homemade peach salsa, some homegrown, home pickled banana peppers. Oh, I have some of these peppers left over from last night. Yeah, from our sloppy joes. I didn't use the whole bag. So I have some of these. I'm gonna put these in as well within the oven. I've got our favorite sour cream. And what nacho dish is complete without guacamole? So I'm gonna make some guacamole quick as well. Very simple, very easy, relatively healthy, minus maybe the corn chips, but that's dinner tonight. And I just remembered I did not brief you on last night's sloppy joes. It was delicious. The sweet potato fries were probably the best part for my children. They loved those, but I actually thought the sloppy joe part was really good too. So I would absolutely do that again. It was a winner. Yeah, I'm out.
This is special. Racing, chasing.
He always smells it.
Oh.
Bon appetit.